When the bride's bouquet landed gently in my arms at my best friend's wedding, the guests all turned their eyes expectantly to my boyfriend of 8 years. Everyone assumed that so we could be each other's bridesmaids and witness each other's happiness. The air around us seemed to freeze instantly. Ethan's hand paused midair as he was stroking my hair. A few seconds later, he gave a low laugh, his tone carrying a mix of helplessness and dismissal. "You're still taking a childhood joke seriously? I'm the CEO of Hale Group. A wedding involves a lot of moving parts. We can't just rush into it like that. Don't be in such a hurry. I promise I'll give you a spectacular, perfect wedding." A wave of bitterness washed over me. For years, whenever I brought up marriage, he would brush me off with empty promises like "next time," "in the future," or "a perfect wedding." 8 years. I had gone from being full of hope to completely dead inside, waiting for the day he would finally keep his word. But now my mind was made up to return home. I wasn't going to waste another second on him. The car cruised smoothly through the night, passing a glowing neon sign for a classic American diner, eventually pulling up to my house. Ethan unbuckled his seatbelt, clearly thinking the tension between us had blown over. Out of habit, he leaned in to give me a goodnight kiss. I put a hand on his shoulder, gently stopping him. "I'm tired, Ethan." He froze, studying my face for a few seconds before lightly patting my shoulder. "Yeah, being a bridesmaid all day is exhausting. Get some rest. Chloe said she couldn't get an Uber and is still at the venue. I'm going to head back and pick her up. It's not safe to leave her there alone." I just nodded calmly, not saying a word. Ethan didn't start the car right away. He seemed to be waiting for me to tell him to drive safely, like I always did, or to complain about him leaving me home alone so late. But I just quietly opened the door and got out. Watching his taillights fade into the distance, I wiped away a stray tear and dialed my parents back in Monrovia. "Mom, Dad, I'll go through with the arrangement. I'll marry Leo." My parents were absolutely thrilled when I told them I was pregnant. They insisted that a child with royal blood could never be born out of wedlock. They promised to pave the smoothest path possible for my baby and throw me a wedding fit for a princess. They also mentioned that Leo had already drawn up several wedding plans, just waiting for me to come home and take my pick. Every detail would be exactly how I wanted it. I booked a flight to Monrovia for 3 days from now and started packing for a clean break. Back inside, I opened my bedroom drawers and began clearing out the keepsakes I'd held onto for years. Ethan's early love letters, Polaroids from our trips, all the little things that bore witness to 8 years of love. Now, it all just felt like a sick joke. I gathered everything that had to do with him, slowly filling up my suitcase. Right then, Ethan walked in. "Why are you still up?" His eyes swept over the messy closet and the open suitcase, but his tone was as casual as ever. He didn't suspect a thing. "Packing so late? Are you planning a getaway to clear your head?" I ignored his question and asked calmly, "Did you drop Chloe off?" "Yeah, she lives pretty far out. It really is hard to get a ride out there at night," he replied effortlessly, not thinking twice about it. "Got it." I looked down and turned to walk away, but a second later, Ethan wrapped his arms around me from behind. The unfamiliar scent of rose perfume on his clothes hit me instantly. It was Chloe's signature scent, and it was so pungent it made my stomach turn. I shoved him away hard, recoiling with a level of disgust I'd never shown before. Ethan froze. He stared at me for a couple of seconds before letting out a laugh, his tone shifting into impatient condescension. "Are you really still throwing a fit over the bouquet? Don't be so petty." He stood up and loosened his tie, completely brushing me off. "All right, fine. I'll order you a bigger, much nicer bouquet tomorrow. Now go wash up and get some sleep. I have an important meeting in the morning." With that, he headed straight for the bathroom. I watched his back as he walked away and spoke softly, my voice ringing clear in the quiet room. "I told my parents I'm flying back to Monrovia in a week to get married." Ethan's hand stopped dead on the bathroom doorknob. When he turned around, whatever patience he had left was completely gone. He frowned, looking utterly exasperated. "Skylar, stop being unreasonable. I've told you, I'm the CEO of this company. A wedding can't just be some